All right, welcome back, everyone. What I have here is one of my prized little possessions here. Circa 1955, Jari walked behind sickle mower. We'll take a close look at it after I get this all started up, okay? Okay, so this is basically ancient technology by today's standards. We're talking points and magnets on the flywheel, magneto, and points for ignition that creates the spark. So it's all solid state, just direct connection electricity that powers the spark plug. Not even a recoil starter mechanism. It's just a raw sleeve sticking right off of the flywheel with a notch cut in it, and you simply tie a knot in the right size piece of rope and you wrap it around that disc with a rim. We'll take a close look at that after I get it started and shut back down, and then I'll do a detailed walk around and show you all the details. So I'm going to show you how this starts up really nice. Now you got to feel these old engines out. Give them a little bit of a choke, sometimes too much choke depending on the weather. Get it to cough and sputter. If it 8 cycles on you, then you know she's a little bit rich, and you pull off the choke and a little bit of throttle. This just takes decades of experience and actually just growing up with this technology. So pretty easy for an old geezer like me to figure it out and feel it out, because you know I've been doing this since I was probably 8 years old, literally. So let me get right to it. We'll give them a couple of spins. Might pop on the first try here. A little bit of throttle. I'm gonna go about half choke. Yeah, and I'm already wrapped around my starter. So here we go. All right, maybe a little more choke. We'll go again. Now we got plenty of gas in there, so I'm going to take the choke off completely. Just a tiny bit of throttle, just off idle. Okay, as you can see right there, that's the throttle. Let them get good and warmed up, and we'll go take a look. Idle them down just a little bit, but not too much. I'll engage that. Idle's got to be a little bit higher. He starts to load up, and by load up we mean you can hear it getting a little bit rich. It's sucking too much gasoline, and it's literally kind of choking itself out if I go too low on the idle. Okay, that's just about perfect right there. And there's just a little bit of belt drag there. That's normal. So that's my engagement right there. And that's how that works. And that's the off switch. You simply dead short the spark plug right to the engine block, in this case the cylinder head. Okay, you don't get a shock or anything like that from it. You could if you touched that spark plug wire. You'd get yourself a heck of a jolt. So just a nice little simple sickle cutter bar. These are specially designed for this unit. So it could be really hard to find parts and everything like that. This little rod here in the center just kind of swishes the grass or whatever you're cutting away from the shield there, kind of splits it and lays it down. You know, this would not be the original engine on this machine. You know, this particular mower has probably seen two or three engines. But you know, back then they were really common. Once again, we're talking probably circa 1955 to 1960. Briggs and Stratton, you know, cast iron construction cylinder and all that. So there you have it. And I resurrected this little gem way back in 2009. And I took the engine off and took it into a local repair shop, which we had done business with for quite a few decades already back then. And the man that rebuilt this engine has passed on since that time back in 2009. So it's that's kind of an important piece of history too. The new parts I was able to order from, once again, a local businessman who I talked about recently, probably a month ago, when I was doing tires and motorcycle stuff. The owner of the motorcycle shop that I was talking about, he also had connections to this particular company. I was going to order one of these brand new. I'm glad I never did. It would have been very expensive. But I just got all of the brand new parts we could still order from the company back then. So I ordered a brand new set of wheels, brand new set of belts, some extra sickle sections, and some bolts and rivets just to do that cutter bar. And I kind of wonder if I did a brand new sickle bar. I think that's what I did. So anyway, the history of this little gem. Let's get some cutting done now that you know all about this and how I operate it and everything. And we'll just show it doing some cutting. And that's all we really need to do, and that'll be the end of this video. And there's specific methods of cutting. Yeah, you want it dry enough. What I like to do is I like to cut into a side wind, but that side wind needs to be blowing away from the material that I'm going to cut. So I'm working my way up into the side wind, and then that way what happens is I can go back and forth, and the wind will help push the cut grass away from the next pass. Because if I have cut grass on that next pass, then that'll plug up my cutter bar, and I got to walk in front of it and kick grass away from it. As you can see, we don't want to do that. It's a bit not safe is all. Let's get up on that camera stand, and I'll cut some of this grass for you. And probably take you on a walk behind, as this beautiful antique gem has no stupid safety devices whatsoever. You can just take your hands off it and it will ghost itself. It will just simply keep on going all by itself and cut. And I'll just walk away from it and hold the camera right in front there and show it cutting like I did last year. Okay, let's get some grass cut for hay. Well, hopefully we're still on. Oh yeah, we're on screen, I guess. There we go. All right, that's what it looks like when I'm operating it. Okay, a lot of times what I'll do, I like to try and match the tire treads to the speed of those little drivers to save wear and tear. To save wear and tear on these tire treads when I engage that and pull that spinning gear down on them tires. I don't like to do that. That's hard on stuff. So, and then a lot of times, you see how I'll just lift that side of the mower off the ground and let the outside tire push it around the corner, just like that. I'll just lift the inside wheel and let that spin in the air, and then the outside one will just pivot right around. And I can pick the whole back end of this mower up. To slow it down, I'll just pick the drive wheels up off the ground. Just like that. And just kind of spin the wheels if I'm in really heavy grass and I lug down and stuff like that. So anyway, we'll get this Peterbilt parked in a nice mowed off square right there. Okay, so the wind is like straight out of there. I have enough of a headland. All right. Normally cutting a piece of hay, you want your passes, also known as your rounds, to be as long and straight as possible. That does not apply with a little walk behind project. The wind, you can see blowing the grass this way onto the stuff that's already been cut. All right, makes sense? And you can kind of see it blowing this way, right? So I'll turn that around and then just keep going that way and that way. Okay, just like I said, sideways into the wind, and you can see that my bar doesn't plug up. You can see the grass laying that way onto the cut ground. There's a little skip right there, not a big deal. That's just the way sickle mowing goes with an outfit like this. There you can see the wind pushing the grass away from the cutter bar. Pick up that inside wheel and let them clean that cutter bar, give it a little hop there. Just like that. There we go. Speed control of the engine, very important. I bypassed the governor. The linkage was just no longer useful. And you're always controlling the speed of the engine anyway, so I just hooked it up direct. Little blue smoke there, that's just normal for an old engine. They're actually supposed to use a little bit of oil. Okay? There you have it. All right, I'm Dead Wolf. I'm out. This was kind of fun. On the next one. You know, until then, take care, everyone. A really important piece of equipment that's near and dear to me. Been with me all of my life, so to speak, and